Okay, so we are locked out of this Mclaren 720 and we do not have a keyblade to manually enter. I know if you go underneath the car, take off the engine panel, you can get to the alternator connection and probably jump it that way, because it appears that the battery is dead, and that's part of why we're not able to get in right now. One of the problems is this car is lowered. Because it is lowered, we are not able to get a low profile jack underneath. So we are at the point where we have started to disassemble one of the jacks to get underneath the car as best as we can. And the goal here is to create no damages or anything and get into this car. All right, we finally got underneath. Let's start to put the jack back together and get underneath the car completely. All right, we are underneath finally. Got underneath. Let's take this panel off and let's see what we're talking about. The goal at this point is to get to that little connection up there. I already took that little red cap off, but as you can see, it's pretty tight in here. But most of the modern McLarens have this little connection here you can get to, and that's where we're gonna jump it from. So you might be thinking, why don't we just open the door, get access to this front battery here in the front trunk, put a jump pack on it, and get in like any other car? Well, on these, the door is electronically actuated. When the car is completely dead, there's no way to get in unless you have a keyblade, which we do not. So we're going to take the panel off like we did. And this jump pack connection is actually too big to fit in there between the engine and the firewall. So what we're gonna do is we're actually going to use some test wires. And we're not trying to jump start the car with these tiny wires. We just want enough power basically to get this electronic door actuator to work. Then we can get to the trunk and we can finally put some power to this battery, put it on a charger, and then we're back in. All right, fingers crossed that that tiny little wire can give us the power we need. All right, here's a moment of truth. We've got the test wires connected to the firewall fitting for the alternator connection. Got our jump pack here. And let's see what we got. Oh yeah, 2 volts. That explains it. We've got a dead battery. That's why this car is not responding. Hopefully when I flip this, we're gonna hear probably some relays clicking. And unfortunately, I would assume the alarm's gonna start going off. No alarm. All right, let's try the door. Still locked. All right, let's try the key then, now that we have power to the car again. All right, power to the car. And nothing from the key. Maybe the key battery is dead. Let's try a new key battery. All right, we got power to the car. New key battery, let's try it. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Let's get this open. Open sesame. I've never seen the inside of this thing. This thing's pretty cool. I'm not used to seeing these steering wheels. I wonder if this is aftermarket. But this is the inside of a Mclaren 720. 720S. Now let's jump the battery, get this started, and we can pull it up and put it on a charger for the night. All right, that worked. These tiny little wires worked. We were able to get into the car. I just popped the trunk, which is also electronically actuated. I'm sure there's an emergency release for this trunk somewhere. Usually it's inside of the car, unfortunately, but now we can get access to the battery in here. Jump it. We're gonna pull it up to a charger. Put on the charger. All right, folks, we are up and running, which helps a lot because I gotta get my ramps out. This car is so low to the ground that I had to lower it on the ramps. And now I gotta drive off the ramps. We'll leave this on a charger overnight.